Well, we lost the camera there, but you got to see, very good idea. It's basically what we're going to do to all these drums. Now when that drum dries, we'll set it over to dry. Once that re-ring is done, we will take it and run it through the saw and clean up the side with the re-ring. Since we saw the factory edge on the other side, we'll clean that, and that'll make it all nice and even and get all the glue off. And then what we'll do is we'll glue in this one, this re-ring in the other side, the remaining side, and do the same exact thing. So, these are all necessary steps. Keep saying. I'm going to put this reinforcement ring with this one so that I can lose track of it. And we'll work on another one. I don't want to work on this one because I want to get thicker re-rings for this one. So, and we'll cut this one to size. Gloves. Now this is a 16. I think this is a finishing of 14 by 16. Yeah. I sure hope he likes 14 by 16. We'll find out. And do the same exact thing. Now, the bigger drums, as before, are a little more difficult to cut in this manner. So it's important to take your time, it goes slow. Our slip agent is working really well. I can feel it's nice and slippery on here still. So I've got some glue on the inside here. I got to chisel it out. It's going to be in my way. Direction of the wood here. They like to come out easily. Exotic woods, everything about exotic woods is difficult. They react so much differently than what we're used to do. Domestic partners here. Woods. There were a lot of wormholes in this stuff, and so that seeped out through the wormholes. The glue seeps out through the wormholes and then gets all over. So it makes for a little bit of a more challenging cleanup. But I think we're up to it. And we had some of those sections burn on us in the steam box, which is typical. If we build our big steam box, we won't have that issue. It doesn't affect the wood at all. Just getting some of these big knobs out. Now, I'm going to take the tape measure and find out the pencil where I'm big and where the shell's at. I got a pencil over here. I found it. Alright, so these shells finish at 15 7/8 roughly, and you can see this is 15 5/8, so it's telling me I'm long a 1/4 inch this way, roughly. So I like to find center by going down to about 16 inches. Here, and I'm longer in the middle, so all I have to do now is split the difference here and know that right here is my longest point, roughly, and then I get a clamp. Time for some clamps. And get this started here. There we go. probably a little too much, but I want to get that set. It's actually not too bad. Back it up a little bit. And that's pretty good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make some witness marks, indicate where I want to put this clamp back on. And I'm just going to rotate it off, so I'll slip it back on in the same spot later on, once we get this all laid out. Okay. So now the step is the same. We'll take the re-ring, and we'll fit it in. Start with this one. And believe it or not, that this clamping method helps tremendously in pushing everything back where you need it to be. Another thing that happens when we seal the insides of these, all these drums get sealed with our finish, a couple of coats, and the reason being is it's solid wood in here, and we want it to be resistant to any changes in climate and protect the wood as much as possible. When we do that, all the wood inside this shell expands and contracts and kind of brings it back into round as well. It comes right back into its own, and it's really kind of cool. It's subtle, but it does work. So, use that over here. Stay strong over here. I think we can now. Get it out of our way for a moment. It's almost dry anyway. Give ourselves a little more room. Alright, I'm going to come in here and cut this. These are the steps we're going to take for every drum except the 6-inch, the 8-inch, the 10-inch, and the 12-inch. Those drums are not getting reinforcement rings, and they have thicker ply section on the outside. They're nice and round, and they don't require them because of the type of drum that it is and the sound that we're going for. We may put them in one side or on the top, but I will decide that later on as we go. I got to trim this down a little bit, it's still a little long. So, important to take out the slack to make sure that you got a nice tight fit. And sometimes that's a little easier than, there we go. And this is going to be a tough one to get in, but we'll get it in. I'm going to put the clamp on just to make sure it's not too tight. And I think that'll work just fine. That's good. Like before, the tightest possible fit. Draw our line. We use all the tools here. And we're going to be putting this beautiful ash veneer on the outside of the shells. Once the rings are done the insides are cleaned up, we'll sand the outside real smooth and not too smooth, and we'll start applying the ash veneer. And I think we're going to be putting a nice black stain on that ash veneer with a satin finish. I haven't decided 100%, but I'm leaning toward that direction. Ash has a nice grain to it, still come through. It may thin the stain out a little bit so it's not solid black. All kinds of cool stuff we can do. nice chrome hardware with deep tail lugs, and put our trademark tone mount on there on all the rack toms. Let these drums really open up and sound great. Alright, there's that. Now we can start putting some glue around. Same as before. Dab it, work it in.